What's up, fellas? I would venture to guess that if you're watching this video, and more specifically my content in general, you're like me and you avoid all your problems by going to the gym. If I'm right about this, then I would also guess that you have probably Googled in your time, best gym program to build muscle or something, and then some website comes up that's from like Healthline or Men's Health even, and it gives you some bullshit program where you do plyometrics day 1, then you go for a 2-mile run, then day 3 you do a pull day, then day 4 you get a rest, then day 5 you hit just chest, and then day 6 you rest again, and then day 7 you go for another fucking 2-mile run for no reason. Then you try to look for who actually made one of these programs that give you all this bullshit, and it's, you know, some celebrity trainer. And then you think back to that Dr. Mike video that you watched where he talks about fucking Mark Wahlberg's training.
Just had a 30-minute conversation with a chef when he's prompting him, he doesn't even know what he's cooking and they don't know why he's eating it. No macros, no calories, no goal. Is he in a fat loss phase, a muscle gain? What the is going on? God damn it, I'm getting sick just thinking about the shit. Out of my
And yeah, you know, I'm not just here to rant about this situation with like Men's Health giving bullshit advice on, you know, fitness stuff. I'm actually going to give you a logical answer to this problem. You know, gym programs are super specific depending on what you want to do. So if your goal is to build strength, then your program is going to be wildly different from if your program is to build muscle. So today I'm going to be giving you a blueprint to build a schedule for muscle growth. And, you know, this isn't going to be the one split that's just going to get you fucking jacked to the tits as best as possible. No, it's going to be a actual blueprint where I'm going to give you the amount of sets, the amount of reps, the amount of days a week you want to train, and so forth, so that you can build the program that best fits your situation, whether it be time you have to go to the gym or how long you need to rest specifically, because everybody needs different amounts of time to rest. So first off, I'm just going to start off with the basics here, and we'll move our way up to more specific stuff. So we're going to start with talking about individual workouts and sets. Based on what I've looked at in a lot of literature and what's commonly agreed upon with bodybuilders, is shooting for around 10 to 20 working sets per muscle group per week is the best for hypertrophy. And just to clear it up, when I say sets, I don't mean warm-up sets, I mean actual working sets where you're going to failure or close to it, because these warm-up sets are just to warm up your muscles and ligaments, like literally warm them up, increase the plasticity, make it so you have a, you know, less room for injury. So let's say you want to do 2 working sets on something like a bench press. I would say you want to do like 2 to 3 warm-up sets before that to make sure you don't like injure yourself or something. That's pretty common knowledge though. Any less than these 10 to 20 sets, these 10 to 20 working sets overall, you're going to be giving yourself too much stimulus. So you're going to be giving yourself way too much. You're not going to be able to recover properly, and you're just going to be damaging your muscles, and you're going to be overtraining. And any less than that, you're not going to be getting enough stimulus to your muscle, therefore, you know, impacting the amount that you can grow. So because if you do less than the amount that you can recover from, then you're not going to be able to grow as efficiently as if you do the amount that you can fully recover from. It's kind of a balance. It's kind of a little scale of you don't want to do too much where you're not able to recover, but you don't want to do not enough so that you're not hitting the max amount of fatigue to build muscle. Now for structuring these sets, I like to shoot for hitting every muscle group 2 times a week, and then splitting that 10 to 20 sets evenly between these 2 days. So let's say you hit chest in workout 1, I would say doing around 6 to 10 sets of chest in that first workout, and then 6 to 10 sets of chest in the second workout would be ideal. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about sets, because if I get too much into it, then it's just going to get a little more convoluted. So we're just going to move into reps. Trust me, it'll all make more sense at the end. Right now, I'm just giving you a kind of a bare bones structure. So when we're talking about how many reps we want to do during these sets, according to the NASM, around 6 to 12 reps at around 75 to 85% of your 1 rep max is optimal for hypertrophic gains. In the short terms, doing around 6 to 12 reps just before failure or to failure. Contrary to what you may see from like Sam Sulek or Dorian Yates, you don't need to go to fucking optimal muscle failure every working set that you do. That's just too much. And you can actually get away with doing 2 reps before failure and having the same gains as going to failure. However, in my personal opinion, a lot of people aren't really good at gauging how close they go to failure or how many reps they still have in the tank without being like a pussy and underestimating it. So I would say there is some validity in going to failure. So it is a lot of personal opinion at that point. But I would say shooting for failure or close to it is optimal for these reps. And then also doing 6 to 12 reps isn't the only rep range you want to stay in. A lot of people see a lot of benefit from doing more muscle endurance, so going from 12 to 30 reps. And then a lot of people also see a lot of gains from going to more of a strength-based rep scheme, so that would be more like 5 to 8. However, any less than 5 isn't going to be doing you a whole lot of good, and any more than 30 is just way too much. So I would say shoot for 6 to 12 reps, and then going above 6 to 12 could be good, and then going below 6 to 12 could be good. That's a lot of just personal preference on how you want to structure your workouts. I would say also doing more of these strength-based sets, so doing more of like 5 to 8 reps. I would say doing those during like a compound movement would be a lot better, where you're trying to boost your strength up more. So during like a bench press or a squat, it's a lot better, where you're getting a lot more fatigue too, because those movements that incorporate a lot more muscles are going to fatigue you a lot more. So if you're doing a squat, doing something like 25 reps of squat, you're not going to be able to do any weight for it because it's so fatiguing. And by the end of it, you're pretty much going to be doing pure cardio. So I'd say if you're doing compound movements, shoot for more around that 5 to 8 rep range. And if once you get to more isolation work, shoot for that 6 to 12 or 12 to 30. But I would say kind of live in that 6 to 12. You can kind of see what I mean when I say this is all very subjective stuff. A lot of these rep schemes are pretty subjective to what you like to do and what feels best for you. So I would say a lot of this is just a lot of trial and error, but these are all guidelines that I'm giving you. Next off, we're going to have more of the meat and potatoes of building a workout structure, which is actually figuring out what body parts do you want to hit what day. So when you're talking about what workouts you want to hit what days in the week or how often you want to lift during the week, a lot of it is personal preference. So I would say if your pure goal is to build muscle, I would say going around 5 to 6 days a week would be perfect, because then you're going to be getting in the gym, you're going to be able to hit every body part 2 times a week, so that you can hit that 10 to 20 working sets a week easier, and then your muscle groups also have time to rest without needing like a ton of extra time to rest, where you are just having your muscles sit around and do nothing. Also, you can do like around 3 to 4 days a week. This would be more in the realm of like Mike Menser training. However, you would just have to make sure that you're getting in those 10 to 20 working sets within that workout. So let's say you're doing 2 body parts in that workout of 3 to 4 days a week. You'd be in the gym for a way longer time than if you were in the gym for 5 to 6 days a week doing it, because you're basically splitting up that 3 to 4 days a week of work into 5 to 6 days, if that makes any sense. Also, when you're actually structuring your program, I would say trying to pair muscle groups that act together in a workout would be the best. So rather than doing something like quads and biceps, which have absolutely nothing to do with each other, doing something like a chest and a tri together on the same day would be a lot better, because this is kind of the reason why people do a PPL type split or a push-pull legs type split, is because you're doing chest and triceps and shoulders all in the same day. So when you're doing something like chest and you're doing like, let's say, a bench press, you're also hitting your triceps and some of your front delts, which is going to pre-fatigue those muscles so that you don't have to hit them as hard when you get to those more individual ones. So overall, using the guidelines and metrics I gave you, I'll give you a little optimal workout schedule in the description below. Go check it out. It's completely free. Consider this a prize for making it to this part of the video, because not a lot of people do it. But yeah, so overall guidelines I think you should follow would be, when structuring your overall program, your 7-day-a-week program, I would say doing 5 to 6 days a week would be good to shoot for. You can get away with 3 to 4 and rest days in between. Sets, I would say shoot for 10 to 20 working sets per muscle group per week. That would be perfect. I would say larger muscle groups you would want to target more. So something like your back or your legs, I would say you would want to do something more like 20. And something like tries, I would say you could get away with doing that 10 to 12. Reps, I would shoot for 6 to 12 reps at 75 to 85% of your 1 rep max. And yeah, that's kind of going to round it out for this video. I would say overall splits, I'm a big fan of. I would say a PPL split, great. Push, pull, legs. You push, pull, legs, rest. That's your 7 days. Another split I really like is the Arnold split. So that'd be chest and back, shoulders and arms, legs, rest, and then, no, shoulders, you do the 3, and then you do 3, and then you rest. No rest day in between. However, you could do a rest day in between. There's nothing saying that you have to do a 7-day-a-week plan. You could do something where you go like 4 days on, 1 day off, 4 days on, 1 day off. Like the split that I'm currently doing right now, that's helped me a lot to build muscle, would be back and by, and then I do legs with a little bit of shoulders. And you know, this is actually going against what I said earlier, but I just do shoulders because I like to throw in that extra volume. And then I do push, and yeah, and then I do a push day, and then I do hamstrings and buys, and then I rest, and then I do those 4 again. But yeah, this is a lot of content to cover in one video. A lot of it may seem confusing. That's totally valid if it does. If you want me to break down the amount of sets, the amount of reps, or the actual volume in a week and other separate videos, let me know in the comments down below. I would totally love to get into those. Or if you just have, you know, other video ideas in general, let me know in the comments and I will be sure to get to those. Also check out that split that I gave you. It's good stuff. But yeah, that's gonna wrap out this video. Thank you so much for watching. You know, it means absolutely the world to me. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments down below. If you didn't enjoy it, let me know in the comments down below. Hit the like, do the subscribe, do that all the other shit, and I'll see you next time, you sexy motherfuckers.